Hello ladies and gentle beans. Wow, been a little while again since we've done a tech news, so I thought we'd do one. I've been scouring for some technology news and things along those lines, gaming news if you will. And I found a couple of things. Now the game in the background is Battlefield 3. I just jumped on it, had a couple of hours on it and thought, oh yeah, may as well record it and use it for tech news, so that's what I did. Not really been playing much recently, been hunkering down on Neverwinter. Been very much enjoying that actually, been playing with Xgrad and getting him leveled up. I'm currently level almost 42, I think Xgrad is around like 35, something like that, 36 maybe. Hopefully we can get Sniper Raccoon leveled up, Stalker Coffee and Salis. Mad Dog is roughly around the same level as me. We kind of jump past each other and go backwards and forwards, kind of like that. But it's a really good game. It's going to tide me over, I think, until Elder Scrolls Online comes out. And then if Elder Scrolls Online ends up being absolutely cack, then at least I've got something to fall back on. So I've been playing a lot of that recently, and it's safe to say that I'm probably going to be playing a lot of that in the months to come as well. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about this in this tech news. One of them being an article that I read in the Telegraph, which is a newspaper over in the UK, about female gamers. So we're talking about that. And the second thing that I'm going to be talking about is Intel's 4th generation Core series processors, so the i3, the i5, the i7, the codename Haswell. So we'll be talking about those as well, and whether you should get one or not, basically. So, first subject matter. Now, there's an article on the Telegraph website. I should put a link to it in the description below. It's basically a political journalist who enjoys playing video games as well. She's a female, and basically it comes down to the point of she's... And I don't want to sound sexist here, but she's complaining, basically. She's made an article complaining that females are not accepted in the gaming industry, as it were. Not necessarily industry as in development and stuff like that, but as a gamer, they are not accepted. Now, I'd like to call bullshit on that for one point. I mean, some people don't accept females playing video games, but they're stupid at the end of the day. I mean, come on, there's you can't put a gender specific on something like video gaming. I mean, it's just stupid to me, to be honest with you. I mean, there are certain things that I have opinions on, and backwards and forwards and things like that. Some things that people may not agree with, such things like I don't count playing Facebook games and mobile games as being a gamer. Yeah, fair enough, they are games, but that's like classing somebody who plays Flash games as a gamer, and nobody in their right mind who is an actual gamer will class those people as gamers. Now, there's a little point in this article that she wrote that says that females will never be accepted over males as gamers, and males will always pretend to know more than females, and males will always try and say that they're better than females. Now, to be honest with you, this is just the people in the gaming community and things like that who are little whiny bastards who constantly have to try and prove themselves better than everybody else. Now, I'm good at video games. I'm not amazing at video games, but I'm good. I'm pretty good at picking something up, learning how to play it pretty quickly, and getting the fundamentals down, and just getting straight into it. I kind of like on games like RPGs and things like that, and kind of like Battlefield, for example. When Battlefield 3 first came out, the first thing I did, jumped in the jets, jumped in the helicopters. I wanted to get them down first because I'm quite used to running around and shooting people. That's easy enough. But learning how to fly in one of these games right from the outset did me a hell of a lot of good, because I was an absolutely fantastic pilot on Battlefield 3 on the 360, and there's plenty of people that will tell you that I was as well. But I'm not trying to pull my own chain here. I'm just trying to say that there are certain people out there that are better at certain video games than other people. I like to think that I am better than some other people, as well as people who are better than me. We don't all like to admit that, but especially in like shooting games, when we die, we normally say "what the hell" and blame it on lag or something like that. Probably use a bit more stronger language than "what the hell," but and there's a lot of female gamers out there that are in the professional gaming scene, and I use professional in the literal sense of the word, not sponsored gamers. Professional gamers that actually get paid a set wage for playing a certain video game, and actually get training on said video games and do it that way. And it's quite a different story to actually being sponsored to play. If you are sponsored to play a video game, you are not a professional gamer, you are a sponsored gamer. It's a completely different thing. Me and Xgrad had a long conversation on this privately over Skype a few months ago, I think now, and there's too many people out there that try to think that they are professional gamers when they are sponsored gamers. Professional, sponsored, two completely different things. A professional football player, professional basketball player, if you're in the States, baseball player, anything like that, is something completely different to somebody who just gets sponsored to do it. Absolutely completely different things. You could be professional and sponsored, yeah, but you can't be a sponsored. You can't be sort of like sponsored and be a professional. Like, it doesn't kind of work that way. If you're getting paid through sponsorships and not having a regular wage come in, then you're a sponsored player. You're not a professional. Anyway, let's get off that subject. There are a lot of females out there in the professional gaming scene. StarCraft 2, for example, there are 2 that I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. There are 2 females in the StarCraft 2 competitive scene, professional gamers in their own right, and I don't see any reason as to why they should be put down because they are female. It's just ridiculous to me. And there was a comment on this article that I completely agree with. There was a chap at the bottom who left a comment that I completely agree with, that it's just a woman complaining, blaming men for something that's not really men's fault. I mean, back in the ZX Spectrum days and things like that, and it wasn't sort of like, there wasn't no sort of like gender split. I mean, it's not been until recently, until the internet has become this big thing like it is, and there's been internet gaming and everything like that, that we've tended to notice about female gamers. I mean, hell, I mean, in this article it says there are 49% of the gamers in the world are female. Now, I've done a little bit of research on my own, and the highest number that I can come up with is 47%, so I don't know where the Telegraph got this 49% from, but not to try and take anything away from the female gaming community, but there has been many and many of studies done and that, and the highest number I can come up with is 47%, but it just seems ridiculous to me that this needs to be news. Is it really that much of a competition? How many female gamers there are to how many male gamers there are? I mean, let's break it down for the fact. I mean, yes, there are a lot of female gamers. There's a lot on Twitter that we have on Twitter that us guys that some of us play with, some of us don't, and there are a lot of females out there that play just Farmville or Candy Crush or whatever you want to call it on Facebook or just on their phones. See, I do not class them as a gamer. Are they in with this 47%? Because I really don't think they should be, and I think there are a lot of females out there that are actual gamers who don't think they should be either. Now, it's not really a competition. Any male that does the same thing, if you're sitting there just playing Candy Crush on bloody Facebook or on your phone, you don't deserve to be called a gamer, and you don't deserve to be counted in this group of people. So it works both ways. I mean, it's not a competition to see how many people of a different gender are actually playing video games. I really don't see how this is in any way, shape or form news at all. But I would like to know what you think, to be completely honest. I would like to see some comments in the comment section below to just basically have a read through this article and see what you think. I mean, it just seems ridiculous to me that this is made as news, but I would like to know what you think, and if you could leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on gamers, female gamers, male gamers, whatever you want to put in the comment section below, feel free. Okay, so second thing that we're going to talk about is Intel's 4th generation of core processors, that being the Core i3, the i5 and the i7. It's not really the i3 at the moment. They've just done iterations of the i5 and the i7. They might be doing an i3. I'm pretty sure they will do an i3, but we'll just have to wait and see. So at the moment there are, I believe, 3 different types of i7 and 4 different types of i5 with the Haswell code name. So that's the 4th generation of Intel chips. Obviously you're getting up to your most powerful ones, which is the Intel Core i7 4770K, which is the unlocked version of the Haswell Intel i7, the 4 being the generation, and then you've got the 7 being because it's an i7, and then, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what this other 7.0 is at the end, but you know. And then you've got the new Core i5, which will be the 4570K, which will be the unlocked version of the Haswell Intel i5. There are different variations of each one. You've just got the regular 4770, which is just a regular i7, and you've got a 4770S as well. And then you've got sort of like 4 different versions of the i5, which are basically just they bounce around different. They're better at different things than what others are, but they haven't really done too much with them, unfortunately. I mean, they've actually lowered the onboard graphics on them. For the desktop processors anyway. The mobile processors, they've kept sort of like, well, improved on what the Ivy Bridge has now, which is the 3rd generation. They've improved on that and kept that for the mobile processors, so you like your tablets and your laptops, because they realised obviously that anybody buying an i5 or an i7 is probably going to have a dedicated graphics card anyway, so they don't really need to bundle too much stuff into onboard graphics. Now it still has an updated version of these onboard graphics, but they're not as obviously as powerful as what they used to be, or what they're going to be in the mobile devices. Now there's a little bit I'm a bit sketchy on this, to be honest. I mean, I'm not looking to upgrade my CPU at all, because I have a 3570K, which is the unlocked i5, the Ivy Bridge version, so the 3rd generation. It's supposed to be 3.4 gigahertz, and I've got it overclocked to 4.1 gigahertz. Now, it's not a massive jump, don't get me wrong, but when you're a gamer, every little bit of that CPU's power helps not to bog down your graphics card, so your CPU doesn't bottleneck your graphics card, so you can get every little last bit you can out of your graphics card. Not that there are many games out there now that are too CPU intensive, majority of them being MMOs. That's why, really, for gaming, if you're a gamer, or you're thinking about building a PC, or you want to buy a new PC and you want to use it primarily for gaming, buy an i5. Don't get a PC with an i7. An i7 is not worth it for gaming. Your differences between an i7 and an i5, really, aside from just general sort of like speed and overclockiness, your i5 has 4 cores and 0 threads, whereas your i7 has 4 cores and 4 threads. So you've got your i7 that has hyper-threading, which basically splits your cores up again. So you've basically got 8 cores, but they're sort of like fake cores, if you will. But there are not many games out there that utilize more than 2 cores anyway. So you're not going to get a benefit out of using an i7 for gaming. An i5 is perfectly fine for gaming. If you want to go on the cheap side, then get an i3. You're not going to get as good quality, and and you're not going to be able to have as good of a graphics card on an i3 as what you are on an i5, but you know, it's what money you've got. The one thing that kind of ticks me off a little bit is that they've changed the socket type for the 4th generation. They've changed it from the 1155 sockets to 1150. Now this means that obviously with it being a lower number, it's got the actual 4th generation CPU has got less pins on the back. Now don't take this to mean that less pins means it's worse, because it is not worse at all. It is in fact between, depending on if you overclock or not, processors. Say if I got the equivalent i5 to the equivalent, Haswell i5 to the Ivy Bridge i5 that I've got now, I'd probably see somewhere between the 2.5 to 4% improvement mark, maybe. With mine being overclocked, if I could overclock the i5, if I could overclock the Haswell i5, not necessarily as far as I can do this one, because every processor is different. Not everybody's processor you're going to overclock the same, because it just doesn't work like that. Some people get good processors, some people get bad processors. That's how it works. So it's not really that much of an improvement. 2.5%, 4% at most. It's not really that much of an improvement. It's not too much of an improvement to warrant me going out and buying a new motherboard and a new processor. No, not a chance. I may as well wait until the 5th generation when that comes out. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about, really. If you are thinking about building yourself a new PC, my recommendation is, if you are currently on a 1st or a 2nd generation, I wouldn't bother going up to the 4th. I just jumped to the 3rd generation. I wouldn't bother even going up to the 4th, because chances are if you've got a 2nd gen i5 or an i7, then you'll be able to fit a 3rd gen in your motherboard anyway, because it'll be an 1155. Your Z77 motherboards, they should be 1155 sockets, and they'll fit in and work straight away. It saves you having to go out and purchase a new motherboard and a new CPU. You can just go out and buy a new CPU. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. One other thing, I had to take down my Injustice videos because, as Sniping Raccoon pointed out to me a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, Warner Brothers had actually claimed my channel according to Social Blade. And I'm assuming that was due to the content matches on my Injustice videos. So I have taken those down, and they will stay down. The only one that's still up is the fails video, because it didn't have any cutscenes in, and just in case you don't know how content match works, it basically matches video for video and audio for audio, and if it finds something that's more or less the same or the same, then it will flag it up as a copyrighted video, and then you can either accept it, or you can what's the word I'm looking for? You can, never mind. You know anyway. Can't think of the word. It's late. It's currently midnight. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and thank you very much for watching. Got a few decent kills on this footage of Battlefield. If you saw the one where I shot the 2 guys out of the transport helicopter from the car, that was quite fun. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. I will let this little tiny bit of footage just roll out. There should be from me on Saturday another piss take video for another YouTuber. As the same as what I did with the Sniping Raccoon one that came out about 8 days ago now. Got a pretty decent amount of feedback, so I'm looking at doing a couple more of those for different YouTubers. So I hope you enjoy those. Keep a lookout for that. That should be out on Saturday, maybe. I might depend. Maybe Saturday, Sunday time. That should come out. So thank you very much once again for watching this Let's Talk tech and stuff, and I will see you guys next time.